Hey Lol, how you doing? Hi Drake, how you doing? So, bit of a weird one today. I've been browsing Twitter over the last week, and I've noticed a couple of things that intrigued me. One you may be aware of. Well, and the other one you may not be. That I'll be discussing. Don't need ads. But I just want to point this out overall. One of the topics has been heavily spoken about on political terms. Now, everyone has their own political view on this. So I'm going to be going for the most logical way of thinking on this as possible. Rather than taking one side or the other, I'm going to be discussing both sides of it. So I'm going to be going with very little politics as possible, because that's not my aim. I don't do politics on the channel. But I kind of wanted to bring it up without bringing politics involved and arguments involved. I just want to discuss the two sides and why people think two different ways. Because again, people who aren't political on Twitch or YouTube or Kick or wherever it is, they like to give views from both perspectives. Now, I have my own views, but I'm going to be giving views from both sides that I've heard of, which I completely understand both sides of it. But I'm not going to be going down the terms, because in some sense I don't want to go down terms which I'm going to be categorised as a political channel. I'm going to do my best not to do that, because that's not my aim. So I'm going to go down the first thing. Of course that don't work. There we go. So let me bring it up. And now I'm not screen sharing, but I need to just bring it up first. Bring that up. Okay, it's on Chrome, that's why. Where is it? I think there's 2 posts regarding it. So I'm just getting the post up. Or was it 1 post? That's the last thing I want to talk about. This one of them. So I'm going to go for the Dextero, or whatever you want to pronounce it as, who does a lot of this stuff. And then I'm going to go down the other tweet, which is an individual perspective. Now, I don't endorse any of the content posted. So, just a side note, any content I read out, I'm only giving my perspective on it as neutral as possible. So I don't seem like I'm taking the left or the right, because I don't really want to do that. I have my own views, but I'm going to give views from both perspectives, without going political on it. I know it sounds like you can't talk about something without going political, which is the same with everything these days. So I want to point out a few facts that I see with it, which can be discussed through politics, but doesn't have to be political. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me just change the scene over. Right, here we are. By the way, I've added a box to the social thing because it was doing my editing last stream. It was just disappearing, so that's why that looks odd. I'm going to fix it after it's not perfectly in line, which is doing my editing as well, but yeah. So that's the second tweet. This is the first tweet. Right. Well, we've already kind of discussed, we've already dealt with this, which is the funny part, but it's actually broadened up. That's the funny point. So, it says here, people in the UK appear to be using Garry's Mod, which is a game mod. But it's got a mod in it basically. I've played it before, I wasn't interested, but it's basically a game you can play with multiple people and do multiple different things. Right, so he says Garry's Mod to get past the newly imposed age restrictions. Alright, which we'll get on in a minute. It says earlier this week, users also had success using Neumann Reedus's face. I'm not sure who this is, probably a character from Death Stranding. Again, I don't know any about the game, so yeah. So they posted this. So what they've done. So what they're doing is they verify, which I've done myself. So I want to see how this worked. You get sent to this website. It is allowfamily.k-id.com to use your webcam. This is the process to verify your age. I'll zoom out slightly, just so you can see the whole screen. It's 30 seconds long, so it's not too long. So they're going through the process because obviously it's very quick. I'm kind of slow this down. Yeah, I'm slow this down a hell of a lot because there's no sound to it. So just so it can be clearly seen. So they're clicking on this, go through the verification process, loading it. Bear in mind this is a slow video that I've made it slowed it down. Open it up, click allow, go to camera, start by scanning. This part is the game, which I've heard people say about it. So if you read the orange text here, you can see it's registering a face. So it's asking the center it, there's it closer to the camera. Open your mouth, just a AI situation. Now, this bit, that don't look real, which is the funny part. So, if an AI is reading this from a website, I would be very concerned of how the website is actually processing verifications. The only thing I can see is it's obviously an old guy in the game. He's got a beard. The only difference is the way the face is. And this looks stretched to me, from what I can see. So it's not exactly real, obviously. So I don't know how I register this. There's an open your mouth and get closer, and it's doing all the processing. Hold on, chat. So my sister came in. She wasn't aware I was live. Just wanted to ask the question, that was all. So, going through the verification process, scanning the face, doing all of the stuff it needs to do. Obviously, I've slowed the video down so it's longer.
Sometimes you just want something a bit extra to
It's loading, it's got the loading circle and everything like that. Now it's green. It was green then. Still stay still, estimating your age. If you look at the top, if I zoom in, we've determined you're in the adult age group. So realistically, anyone could do this. That's kind of a bit off for me. Obviously, anyone can do this. Personally, I don't do this because obviously I'm not that type of person. But like, kids can do this and get this message, and it's to defeat the point of the system. The only thing, servers on Discord, because this is Discord based, for verification, the only difference is as I have noticed, once you can create a chat which you can enable as the adult setting. Now, Roblox, for God's sake, every platform's done this, so I've obviously looked through Roblox, and YouTube's also done this, and other stuff, so it's other platforms doing it as well, game platforms as well, so everyone's being hit by this. It's mainly UK and Australia at the moment, which I'll get to in the second post. But you can set channels for age restriction. Now, if this is going on, you're going to get anybody join it. Now, in my opinion, this is my view. Once you do this, even if you're a child, right? This is my take on it. And I'm not everyone's going to agree with me on this, but if an adult is in the channel, a verified adult like myself, and then a child who's like 16 or 14 does this method instead and verifies and joins the channel, the content that they see, right, is not going, in my thought process, is not going to be blamed by the staff or the owner of any server who has this restriction on for channels. So let's just say you're having not necessarily an adult conversation, but it's a mature conversation, and how to put this, there's a child in the group chat, in the channel itself, talking. If that child is seeing the content, that is not to be blamed upon the users typing the content or any staff member in the server. The reason for that, as long as it's not safe for work, etc., it's reasonable content. Let's say relationships, right? You're talking about your wife or your husband or your girlfriend or whatever. That's more of an adult conversation. You don't talk about kids, but mostly, depending on how you view reality. Whereas it's ideal that kids don't get to see content from other adults talking about their relationships, basically. I don't know, weddings and stuff, and how it went. Kids aren't interested in that. But let's say they're talking about alcohol in the channel. That's an adult thing. Or smoking, right? Anything legal that's spoken about that children don't normally get involved in will be seen by a child, or when I say a child, a teenager, let's just say, because you'll be 13 plus anyway, so a teenager, right? When I say child, I'm referring to a teenager. It's not to blame on anybody else, but the child who's doing it, as well as the parent who should be in control of the situation, as much as many people have stated. That's the other side of it. That's just a meme. Okay, I'm not going to go down because I don't know what posts are, but yeah, you get the point. They're using characters in the game to determine age, which bypasses the old situation. So we've got this. Here's the second post, which is an interview basis. This is, I think, this user, which I don't really want anyone going to them and harassing them for anything. If you're just lurking, I'm just doing this for context. They are basically saying that it's an issue in a sense. If you wake up, they're going through a routine. If they wake up, new UK law banning 18 plus content without ID verification. Banned from opening channels on my own Discord server. My own Discord server that I own. This bit here is the most important bit. This point is the biggest point. People are saying that the content in their own server they can't even view. Which I think, if you're creating an adult one in a server that you're like, if you're 16, you're creating an adult one. For your server, I think that's your own responsibility, so I don't think the moderation should apply there. Anyone else in the server, yes. Staff, yes, obviously. If you own the server, I don't think the restrictions should apply to your account because you own the server. You could delete the server and everything. It is, but there's a couple of other things as well. There's something else as well, which I'm going to read a couple of other things as well. This is literally just 2 posts regarding this. I was trying to get out of the road because of my view on this. There's a extra point to this, but based off Discord, it shouldn't take me long. So if you're on your own server, you should have the rights to see every channel not be moderated by Discord because you're a kid seeing an adult content in your own server. In a sense, that's wrong. But if you're on the server, I think that should be allowed, in my opinion, because you're on the server. That's what most people are saying. No, the other sense, you can say, well, if you're over the server, you still should see the content. But if the owner wants people to have the option for that content, then they shouldn't have the restrictions in place for the owner, especially for moderation purposes. It shouldn't go based on age, really, for server owners. It should go based on users other than the owner itself. I'm tired of defending the UK. This is the political statement. It's truly a showing British to be British. No, it's truly bad to be British. Sorry, I'm trying not to use the term, but yeah, you can kind of see that. Obviously, you got the age restriction. This is on PC, whereas the other one was on mobile. This one's on mobile, which you can see. This one PC based. So overall, this is through every website, whether it's adult content websites, through what I've heard people talking about. Any website that has not necessarily adult things, but let's say Twitter or X, as it's called, has adults on it. Therefore, you have adult side of it. Therefore, I think they may introduce it on there, on here at some point. I don't know. Or I've heard that they're going to introduce certain systems based on ads and stuff. I think, as well as other platforms who do ads, like Twitch and stuff, and YouTube is one of them. YouTube being introduced as well, which will, if being introduced, I think it's down the line somewhere. Where is it? Is it one of these? I don't think I cited it. Basically, YouTube's over the same thing where you get ads, and this can affect creators. In a sense, one of the creators already spoken to YouTube about this and stated the problem, and they said, well, it shouldn't be bad. I don't know what the rule is going to be on this. But yeah, it's a catch-22. You're in a situation where you could be classed as a teenager while being an adult because you can have a baby face, or your looks can be younger than what the AI is determining. Humans could say, "Oh, you look old," but then AI could say, "Well, you look young." So it's one of them things where this is a political thing mostly. but I'm not taking it politically. The good and the bad, that my view on this is, we need the system in place, in a sense. Most people say we shouldn't have this in place. Now, the reason why I think we should have it in place, and this is why I'm going two sides, we should have it in place on the one side because we need children to be protected. Yes, people are saying that parents should be in control of that, but not every parent knows what their kid is doing. And it's not the parents. It's not down to the parents what the platform has posted. If other people are posting content on the platform, parents can't go, right, they shouldn't do this, I want my child on the platform. It's a catch-22 for the parent. They want their child on there, but they don't want them to see the content, depending on the parenting of the individual child or teen. Now, it's needed to protect children from content they shouldn't see because there's too much of it online. I think they call it the child. I think it's something to do with the Online Child Safety Act. I'm not sure of the particular terms. I can be quoted in chat what it actually is. We do, but the company shouldn't be a third party. Which company? Oh, you mean the verification company for Discord and that? Yeah, I don't think that. I personally think to introduce it, which is where I'm going to go now, which we need it, is we need a system in place to protect children, but also the system needs to be done so that information cannot be leaked, especially with like leaks these days. So my view would be, it would have to go through a government operated. Because at the end of the day, the government has your details and most of it, your driver's license and all the rest of it. The government already has that. They issue your information for you, really, like your license and everything. So they've already got everything they need. They got your picture or your license. So if it goes through the government, there's nothing new. If they add an additional thing into the system on the same part where they store information for personal details, just add this in the UK system, and every country has their own version, right? So if there's a leak in one country, you don't have an entire global world wipeout of information leaks. Like, one company running the whole world is not going to be sustainable if one person accesses the system and all of a sudden you find that your details have been taken and used for illegal purposes. It's not good. So if the governments, whether it's the US, UK, or wherever it's going to be produced, if the government does its own system, I don't know how long it could take, obviously, but if they introduce their own system, it should be like European Union verification. Yeah, exactly. So Europe would have their own one. The UK being not in Europe, unless they have certain things in Europe. But if they use the European one, fair enough. As long as it's in a government-owned one, that's like let's say for the UK, it's UK or Europe, depending on how the legal system works. I would probably say it's UK-owned because it's UK citizens or residents or whatever you want to call it. But if it's UK-based, then it does less to go wrong. A third-party company, verifying people is not government-owned. Therefore, if there's leaks, you're having the same situation. Any company can have where there's leaks. It's going to get locked. It's going to get stolen and lost and etc. The government owns it. It's more secure, in a sense. Obviously, because everyone has their own views on what's secure by the governments and not secure by the governments. I'm not giving much on that because that's political, but my view is governments should own the system, not third party. Now, anyone who disagrees with third parties would probably understand that if, in this sense, it's how to put this, you're basically, if you listen to what I said as well, say the government owns data anyway to introduce like licenses and stuff. Obviously, you've got your license numbers, etc. You can find like whether it's criminal records or points on your license. You got to pay off, and you got to pay through the Department of Transport or the DVLA or whatever, however you want, department that runs it. Basically, I'm referring to the US or UK for meanings because I don't know others. But people probably go, yes, it's more safer. They may disagree on the thing generally, but when people who disagree on the entire thing, which is what I'm going to get to now, when someone says they disagree, I understand the situation because they want they want to own their own information. But when someone says, I don't know, free speech and other terms, which I'm not going to get out on the situation, but we use terms instead. To me, they care about the information rather than the protection of children. It's just a logical thing. It's a parenting thing. You want your child. Obviously, everyone has their own perspective on that. But in general, this is why I'm giving 2 points of views. So I'm remaining neutral. Well, I like to see both sides of the situation, which I have. So this isn't really a political statement. It's more of my own views of what I've read. People could class what I'm saying as political, but to me, political would mean taking a side, mostly, because everything is political these days. So everyone's listening and say, "Well, it's political." You don't know what you say. You're not political. It's political. Well, in a sense, you could talk about anything. It's political. You talk about housing. It's political. Online stuff is political. Games are political. Everything's political. So if you want to say it's political, that's just your own choice, right? But to me, I'm referring to I'm just saying it's non-political in the state that I'm only giving my views. So yeah, children need to be protected. There's too much going on regarding the negative side of that, which I'm not going to do now for obvious reasons. But some parents disagree on it, which I find funny, but other parents agree on it. Now, people want their privacy, but unless they have a child, they don't know, or young family who use services, unless they have the same views on it, doesn't make much difference. But generally, people have an issue where there's exposure to young people on certain things, and people complain about it. But now there's an introduction of this. There's two sides of it, which I've explained. It's a catch-22 for governments, in my view. I think it's a catch-22 in a sense, because you're trying to support both sides. You're gonna have people who hate and people who love it. You can't meet everyone's criteria on it. I personally think it's good, but also think it's bad as the thing was stated. I give them both views, and that's literally my view on the whole thing. I agree on it, but I disagree on the way they've gone about it. So, I'm a support both sides on it. Now, with YouTube introducing it, someone said that the creator said that ads are going to be restricted, non-personalized for people who are under 18. If you're determined over 18, and the reason that they're doing it through, well, the way they're doing it is they're going based on search history as well as content and comments and interactions with the platform. If you're watching kid stuff, the AI is going to determine, YouTube AI is going to determine you're a kid, which is a bad thing, especially if you've got children and you still like to watch fishing or cars or content, adults interested in golf, hobbies, cooking, I don't know, police shows, etc. Because obviously some police shows are obviously introduced on there. That's obviously an adult content mostly. You don't see kids watching that. But if you've got a kid and you're watching, I don't know, a kid's program of any type, it could determine you as a child, then you don't get certain content, is what I'm hearing. So in a sense, I'm like, yeah. Also an ad is starting, I just realised. Let's do that. I'm a bit late on it, but yeah. So I'm just going to wait this ad to finish. Which is kind of irritating. Are they? Right, yeah, they have heard that as well. Spotify is using the same system as well. I've got 45 seconds of an ad. Well, I know you probably can't see it through Twitch because obviously I've been a mod, so I'm just gonna let the ad run out because obviously people aren't not really subscribers of the channel, so it's not worth going through the whole process. If you're watching on YouTube, feel free to leave a like, subscribe on YouTube, leave a comment at the end, or if you can, I think you can leave a comment now at the bottom of your views. Everyone has their own views on it, so yeah. If it's extreme, then I will remove it. If it's one-sided, then yes. But everyone has their own statements. If it's just fully blown political, then I'm not. I'll just delete it if I deem necessary. There we go. Because yeah, that's finished now. Right. So, where was I? Yeah. So, that's about Twitch, by the way, Twitch viewers. So basically, we need a neutral system, government owned. We need parents to actually take control of their children's online activity as well. There's a whole thing about it. Parents don't take control of the situation. They just give them an iPad and go, here you go. Parents these days, whatever age he is, probably 30, 40 plus, depending on when they use technology, don't necessarily understand the systems. So it's kind of difficult for them. But if you're like 20, 30, pushing 40, then yes, because you use technology longer and you're used to it. Especially the younger you are, basically, the more technological you are in computers and phones and all that, like myself. But in a sense, it's both sides just need to be sorted out. People can't say we don't need the system, but the system needs to be fixed. I think it's broken, and many people think it's broken. It's broken, but we need it. Is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, Xbox is looking. Yeah. Every platform's doing it. PlayStation, Xbox, Spotify, YouTube. There's been things where websites are even doing it. General websites that are like website based. So let's just say like purchasing sites, maybe eBay, maybe Amazon, because you can buy products on Amazon that are basically buy most things on Amazon these days. I'm not going to go down the route of what you can purchase, but you can purchase children's things, you can purchase technology for any age group, you can purchase toys, you can purchase adult items, you can purchase anything really, medication, food. You can probably get it from Amazon. So because it's broad on Amazon, I'll probably have to introduce it as well. The only thing that Amazon will probably say, but I don't think they'll do this, is put restrictions in place, which I don't know how they'll do that, or just remove themselves from the UK market. But I really can't see that happen because the UK market is quite big for Amazon. The UK is one of the biggest ones. It's UK, US, Canada, Australia, etc., etc. It's all the big. It's the larger economic countries. So like poorer countries obviously won't have it. which obviously I have nothing against poor countries, but poorer countries. It's basically what. Let me rephrase that. So countries which I deemed less economic and referred to as a poorer country, just to rephrase the context of what I'm saying, are likely don't have these services, so they may not have internet, which means they won't have most of these services anyway. But like well-formed economically built countries with lots of money, or countries that are in debt, which is basically every country that's economically well. The US is in debt, the UK is in debt, so obviously I'm just making a statement which is fact, it's not political, but most countries that are well economically powered are in debt anyway. I think most countries are anyway, so it's just a big debt pile at the end of the day, which we've got to sort out. Well, every country's got to sort it out, which they're now looking at. It's only like the last 6 months, I think countries have looked at it. But yeah, so every website will introduce it where it's viable. Well, basically, that introduces the laws. If your website is based in one country that doesn't have it, they're not going to introduce it. But anything that's based on the UK and Australia, I'm not sure about the EU, they'll probably introduce it as well. Then obviously, everyone in the EU probably uses most of these platforms anyway. Most platforms using most countries basically, so no matter where you are, you still got to introduce it. But yeah, so that's kind of that. So children is protected, but the system needs to be fixed, and I think it should be government stored, because that's where everything else is stored. If it's done by a third party, that's no good, because if it's leaked by a third party, then everything gets leaked. So it's just bad luck for everybody at that point. Everyone's in bad luck. So that's my view on the system on that one. I'm not sure if I'll go back to this or not, but yeah. So that's kind of that. So I'll delete that one. That one. Right, Twitch stuff. Twitch is introducing the same situation as well. But this kind of stream as well. Twitch is expanding access to stream elements, basically the sponsored dashboard for Spanish, Portuguese languages, affiliates and partners. So the way I understand this is if you're Spanish or Portuguese language, like you speak, if you're in Spain or Portugal, or the language you're using is either of these two, and you're an affiliate or partner, so if you speak these languages and you're affiliated or partnered on Twitch, then you're going to get it's expanding to you, which the UK has got this already, I think, from what I know. I've never seen it on my one, but a couple of the people have, but they're mainly partners. It says it was previously limited to English, French and German. Obviously English, we've already had it, so French, so the 3 countries have already had it. But now they're introducing Spanish and Portuguese. So basically, you get the sponsors, they get paid out to you, you play the game, you get the payout, etc., etc. It's, in a sense, I like the idea, but the people have stated that the contracts have basically it's a contract. So you're contracted to play a game to earn the money. Now this is obviously not English, so you may not understand this. That's just the YouTube logo, but Twitch logo. But yeah, so you'll get once you select these, you're entering a contract, which means that you play a certain amount of play the game for a certain amount of time, certain amount of money, certain amount per hour. And how many hours you play the game. I'm guessing, depending on how the contract works. The contract might say you're required to play 6 hours a week, depending on your stream type. So obviously for me, that wouldn't be possible because I don't stream that. So if you're streaming, let's say 16 hours a week, they could say, "Oh, you are required to stream this for 10 of those 16 hours." Depending on how long the game is. If you finish before that, I don't know how that works. But they're introducing the same system basically that the UK, US, and France and Germany. French is France, so yeah. And Germany, so yeah, that's been introduced. So well, it's just expanding really. There's not much to this one. More details. Join the newsletter. Yes, okay, that's fine. Is that the newsletter? That's the Twitch help for this. We pause that. To bring streamers immediate sponsor opportunities, we're partnering with StreamElements to can make offers available right from your creator dashboard. Twitch partners and affiliates can check out brand offers in English, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and German. So the list is basically all there. Obviously, if you want to go through this, the link's there. If you want to view that, or you can just type in StreamElements campaign on Twitch in Google, and you should get this page. Should be one of the top ones. Obviously, you get all of the information in how you go through getting them and things like that with StreamElements. I don't use StreamElements necessarily for these things, but yeah. So yeah, that's been introduced. Okay, hold on. What's this one? Okay. David Ash has alleged that as many as 430 of the top 500 Twitch streamers are view-botting. Is this a whole different... This is a whole different topic, but yeah, that's the next topic, view-botting. His team estimates a 30 to 40% of viewership were identified as bots. Okay, so yeah, that's the next thing. So let's get to that. Well, that's not the next thing. It's the one after. YouTubers make sure you turn on the option to receive YouTube raids. To me, that sounds like Twitch raids, but through YouTube, which are called live redirects. So they obviously can't call it the same thing because there's going to be such a situation where that happens unless they both accept it and there's an affiliation where they go, yeah, sure, YouTube. Let's say I was Twitch saying it's Twitch staff saying, yeah, sure, YouTube, you can use this. We aren't bothered. It's just a referral as a redirect type thing. But yeah, I don't know if they'll do that. In YouTube Studio, go to the settings, community moderation, user management tab, and then scroll down towards the bottom and check all channels to can redirect to my content. So this is a reverse part. I don't know if this part and this part relate, but this basically is a reverse. So I'm guessing you could select channels you want to. My understanding is raids, so you can raid channels. I don't know. This was introduced 2 days ago. I don't know the full context of this. I'm guessing it's raids introduced. Obviously, other people may disagree on this, and I may be corrected elsewhere. But my view is, it's basically a raid, but you're being redirected. So you can say, go to this channel, blah 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 blah. So you can channels I subscribe to can redirect to my content. So you can select that. I'll select that one. Hi Darwin. So, in a sense, basically Twitch version. Yeah, you can select channels, or I don't know how the filtering works on this, but it says you can select channels and stuff like that, which you can be. Other channels can come to you yourself. I'm not sure if it works through raids and stuff, but obviously I'll look into that. So that's basically that part. That would kind of intrigue me. So let's move on to the next bit, view botting. This is campaigns, but it's linked. Stream Charts, which is a company by the looks of it, appears to be capitalizing on the recent view botting discussion by launching a social media campaign targeting Twitch and the brands considering advertising on the platform. They've made this statement. To combat the issue and educate the industry, Stream Charts will be combine its advanced data and tools with I'm just checking something. Audiently? Audiently? I think I'm meant to prefer to audience. I'm not sure the context of that, or maybe my English is bad. influencers marketing expertise from over 2,000 campaigns, and launch the Beating the Bots with Streamer Charts initiative. It includes two key parts. One, the social media campaign, which will feature a series of educational posts and resources designed to help brands and creators navigate the influencer marketing on Twitch. Topics will include best practices for due diligence when selecting creator partners, strategies for analyzing audience demographics and engagement partners, and the tips for ensuring authenticity in campaign collaboration. My English is not great, so bear with me. Second, the initiative will simulate in the release of the comprehensive white paper, leveraging streamer charts, proprietary data to provide an in-depth analysis of Ubotting and its campaign to streaming ecosystems. So that's the company logo. So yeah, not sure what to say on this, but I think what they're doing is they're making a campaign on it. Not sure it's good or bad. I think it's, I don't know, it depends on the way they swing with the campaign, whether it's left or right, saying Ubotting is bad, we want to sort this out, or whether it's we don't care, this is what we want to do type thing, then they're going to use that as an advantage. I don't know. But in a sense, looks like it's a company or group of people which just generally create a campaign targeting campaign for Twitch. I don't know if they're introducing YouTube or other platforms. It just says Twitch here, so maybe it's Twitch. But it says Twitch, considering advertising. Yeah, so I think it's just Twitch. This, to be fair, I might have been integrated Twitch. So yeah, that's that bit. Let's see the next part, which not that one. Where's it gone? This is Twitch's Ubotting situation. So they put a quick update on the view counts. We have teams and tech dedicated to ensuring that the views, the space is. So there's got to be something here. Someone else mentioned this, and I briefly noticed it myself in another live stream that I was watching before. There's something that's been removed there, but it's not removed the space. So yeah, views that show up on the channel reflect actual viewership. So it kind of seems that they want to sort that out and get Ubotting down, and aren't artificially inflated in any way. So basically, people create accounts and just, it could be 10, 20, 30% of your viewership, depending on the viewer ratio, viewer numbers. Ultimately, metrics on Twitch should represent the real and growing communities that show up in the participants on channels. So we regulate, update detection tools and methods. We recently made changes to the meaningfully improved our ability to identify Ubot's authentic viewership. So, yeah, and other potential fake engagement. These changes will roll out over the next few weeks. So it seems like bots, which are not verified or not, you can bot people, which I've had before. So it's removing that, hopefully, or reducing it, I should say, and fixing the problem. Looks like they're working on it, which a lot of people are happy with. Many creators are happy with it. So if the channel was view-botted, or if some of your viewers are artificial or inflated, you will see an impact to your channel's view count. This also means third-party sites that publish unverified Twitch view accounts are going to see change in the data over time. So the trackers, Solenoum and the rest of the trackers which people view, and I use myself to determine viewership on channels. It's obviously unverified, so it may not be fully accurate, but it's a rough estimate. Mostly, to me, it's right in a sense, like close to being right. So I kind of rely on that a lot. And many creators do use it for analytics and stuff like that. So they're saying, how to get, for God's sake. Basically, it's. I'm just going to wait for Twitch to finish. Hey, it interrupted. I wish there was a. I don't know, alert. To be fair, because that's kind of irritating. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm just going to pause in a second if you've just joined or recently joined. Just waiting for Twitch to catch up, which is irritating. Well, 42 seconds left for the YouTube viewers. For Twitch, I'm referring to, by the way. "15 seconds. Well, we may be returning in a second with the Twitch chat. Or Twitch itself. There we go. Twitch should be back now. Welcome back, Twitch. So, where was I? So basically, like I said before, I was interrupted by ads. The trackers in which are used are going to be updated over time with the new analytics that Twitch adjusts to. Therefore, if you've got viewers who are bots, they'll disappear. A week later, there'll be a drop, like a drop in like the bars that you get on the sites to track. Therefore, you may go, well, why am I dropping viewership? They've tweeted this out to clarify that. So yeah, that's what I've noticed as well. Probably, some people may not barely get anything. Some people may not get no different at all. Some people may not get view botting or whatnot. It depends on which channel it is. So it's not going to be it's a big thing, but it's not big for everybody. That's what we got to be careful on. We recognise that view botting can be out of the streamer's control. Correct. I used a tool before which removes followers, basically botted followers from my account. Then I saw the drop. So yeah, I knew it worked. In making these changes, our goal is to improve the experiences of both streamers and viewers. So I just want to improve it for everyone, basically, including bots that are actually used. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but if you want to, you can basically pause the video or go to YouTube and check this link out. And if you want to read Trainwreck's statement on this, which I'm just going to scroll through, I'm not reading this whole thing because I've already heard about it before, just in context before. I think one or two agreed on it and one or two disagreed on it. I can't remember particular, but someone said it's right and someone disagreed. I think it was mainly right. So if you want to go to this particular post, you can. It's there. Just pause it, zoom in, get your screenshot the portion, and then if you go to the thing, you can click on read basic copy text, select it, copy, paste, etc. There's tools you can use. You'll probably work it out, or you can type it in. I use screenshot. If you use snip tool, you can use snip tool. Do this. and then I don't know. You have to go through that, select a big portion of it, like this. This is obviously what I've selected behind the goal at the top. So I've got the government YouTube open in the background anyway. And then you go to here, select that, you get the purple thing. This is basically the text actions. And then you select this. Right click, copy text, go to Google, paste it in, voila, there you are. Or if you want to do it this way, you can. Take a screenshot of my screenshot if you wish to. I'm just going to quickly, how did it work? You take a screenshot of my screenshot to get this. Turn this off as well for a second, because that might be a problem. But yeah, so that's that. You can look at that. I'm not going to go through that. It's too much information. But yeah, to nod, etc., etc. There we go. So we've done this one. Should view it? No. Goodbye. Not interested. Delete. What a time for that to happen. I've got view botted. A bot just came and yeah. That's the first one out of this. Talk about viewers and I get a bot coming. Can I open it up? When was the account created? Literally recently, probably. Can I right click on the account? I can't. No, you can't. Okay. I'm not sure how that works. Oh well. So, we hide that so I know I've removed it. There we go. So yeah, you can view this if you want and do that, but yeah. I'm going to close this one. Twitch is addressing, this is basically what I read out just. So this is just referring to that. Twitch is addressing viewbots and other authentic viewership. Over the next few weeks, we can expect to see downwards correction in viewership across the platform. When it's a downwards correction, again, it's correcting the viewership numbers from bots to normal viewers that happen. Obviously, not everyone's going to get this, but yeah, so that's basically what that was referring to. So I should have read that before the main post. But hey, I don't set this up like 10 minutes before stream to look through. But yeah, you get the point. Twitch has announced upcoming plans to deal with viewbotting authentic viewers and other potential fake engagement, which is what it is. Why are they doing this? Here's an analyst on this. So I'm going to watch a video about this just for context of what Zach is referring to. So let me just bring it up. It's going to be through this one. This. Refresh that. Let's go to there, go to playlists, click on stream clips, so I can refer to that. I've got two other clips, but I'm not going to refer to them in this stream, as I might have to do them next stream because I can't. This stream is going on for just over an hour, so I'll be going on a bit longer with these tweets, and then I'll end it there. So there's content I want to produce basically. I eventually may make YouTube content once I correct my tweets in the right order. Then I might chip it down to YouTube clips and stuff like that. I might have to cut it up if I do it at the moment, which I might have to do. I don't know. But let's just open this up. So let me just bring this over. Here we go. So Zach's discussing this. So let's just watch it. Zach is someone that I speak to, so he should be fine with this. I'm going to just let you watch this just to get you his view on this. If I have any commentary, I'll put that during or after, depending on the context to be. Yeah, let's just get this over and done with. Is the audio correct as well? I will make sure that it's correct. Is it working? I don't know if it's working. Hold on.
Twitch says it's about to deal with the viewbotting problem on its platform with an update that's going to be rolling out over the next couple of weeks. So let's talk about what this update is, how it may impact the platform, why it's happening now, and whether or not this is just smoke.
This is a 9-minute video, so depending on whether I've explained it or not, I'm playing out 9 minutes to run through.
Smoke and mirrors, and nothing is actually going to change.
As well.
Let's first start by looking at what they've actually said in a tweet here posted by Twitch support just about an hour ago as of the time of recording this. A quick update on view counts. We have teams and tech dedicated to ensuring that the views that show up on channels reflect actual viewership and aren't artificially inflated in any way. Ultimately, metrics on Twitch should represent the real and growing communities that show up and participate on channels, so we regularly update detection tools and methods. We recently made changes that meaningfully, good word, implies impact, improved our ability to identify view bots, inauthentic viewership, and other potentially fake engagement. These changes will roll out over the next few weeks.
While this video is on, I'm just going to hide the webcam and the other stuff so that you could actually see what's going on. There we go. Now it's fully visible.
So if your channel was viewbotted, or if some of your viewers are artificial or inflated, you will see an impact to your channel's view count. And what that means specifically is in the amount of people who are watching your stream. Viewership, average concurrent viewership, CCV, however you want to define it. This also means that third-party sites, for example, Sully Gnome, Twitch Tracker, that publish unverified Twitch view counts are going to see changes to that data over time. I'm intrigued by that one. I don't necessarily have a good answer for this one yet, but I will find out more. We recognize that viewbotting can be out of the streamer's control. In making these changes, our goal is to improve the experiences for both viewers and streamers and viewers. Now, the overall response to this so far has been significantly positive. A lot of people are very excited for the fact that people who are trying to cork their bat, trying to get an unfair advantage over one another by using nefarious means to get their viewership higher, are finally going to get dealt with. Finally, there will be a even playing field for people to legitimately grow an audience based upon real viewership, real community, and not just, hey, whoever can pay the most ends up winning. And now I don't make a habit myself of personally calling out a lot of creators for this kind of thing, but there is one in particular because of how overt and direct he was about, yeah, it's legal.
By the way, the user in which Zach is referring to, I don't know this person, so I have nothing to do with the individual under any case. I don't know who AJ is, what he does, what he streams, who he's with on Twitch, etc. He could be partnered, he might be affiliate, probably partnered, but based on this, he could be an affiliate who's shot up his view count. I don't know. But let's just continue. I just want to point it out.
You should do it. And that's Ray J. Ray J started streaming on the platform and instantly went from a 50 to 60 viewer streamer to a couple thousand, and then up to 8,000 consistently, and the line just looks like flat. It's just stuck at 8,000 every single time he goes live. A very, very obvious situation of somebody viewbotting and then admitting to it themselves. And that is kind of not how this platform should operate. One of the best things about live content is the fact that it is live and the engagement is real. And if we're going to talk about why they're doing this now, it's exactly related to that realness. The reality of most view botting that is occurring on Twitch is it doesn't necessarily matter to the platform as long as it's not impacting who? Advertisers. That is always going to be the one that they're going to be the platform that is the most beholden to is advertisers, because of the fact that when ads are running on the platform, they want to make sure that any of those ads that are seen are being seen by legitimate people. Now, why they may be making this change now is because of a new path of advertising that Twitch is going down.
Imagine being able to build and
Oh, for God's sake. I hate it when ads pop up. Alright, let's skip this. There we go.
Is their sponsorship dashboard. Just about, well, I guess 2 months ago at this point, they've officially launched, Amazon Ads officially launches their Twitch creator sponsorships, which allow brands to pay for direct sponsorships on site. They get things like channel skins and discount subs that they can pay for, and
I've not had anything about this yet, so I will be probably finding out more of that soon. And if I have anything to say on that, obviously that'll be made on an upcoming live stream. There's going to be 1 or 2 weeks where I can't go live because I will just not be at home during those days, particular days. But overall, I'll discuss it whether before or after those streams are. Those days I'm not here. I think the next stream I'm here. I think it's the stream after that and the stream after that I'm not here. It's 2 Fridays I'm not here. On those particular Fridays. So, yeah. Let's just continue, but I've never heard of the schemes or anything like that. This is brand new. Overall. But, yeah, so I'm going to pause this video in a minute if you're on YouTube, because Twitch has got another ad coming up on my screen and it's doing ready. But yeah, so once I stop, I'll stop the video. I'm just going to snooze the ad, to be fair. Snooze this. I can't be bothered to deal with it. Right, I've snoozed that ad for 5 minutes, so I can actually finish this video on here. So let's just continue. Should just work, actually.
messaging over chat, messaging
If I keep pausing, obviously it's going to make an ad eventually, so I'll have to be careful with that.
underneath the chat, all kinds of various functionality, channel skins, streamer readouts, sponsored subscriptions, follower promotions. And so for an advertiser and for Twitch's or view botting fight, they would want to make sure that video ads are not being seen by fake numbers. Because an advertiser pays a CPM rate. So if they're paying $75 CPM, they want to make sure that 1,000 people are seeing that for the $75 that they're paying. But sponsorships are a completely different metric overall, in that it's actually sold based upon A, the viewership, the real viewership, and B, engagement with it. And so if you're an advertiser and you're thinking about doing
Which is what I said earlier on regarding the system where you play, say it's a game, you play a game with the viewers or solo. You play a game whether it's with viewers or not, you get paid those in the hour and stuff like that. That's basically what it's referring to. But you can have engaged ones as well, like games that you affiliate with that you just interact with. Yeah, that's kind of where he's referring to that, which I stated earlier on when I was referring to the tweet regarding the additional languages for the Create Dashboard and how it works. But it's basically what you just said.
channel sponsorship
That's
for a
so
channel with 1,000 CCV, the amount that you're going to be paying for that 1,000 CCV sponsorship is going to be significantly higher than the $75 that you're paying for 1,000 ad views. And so my guess here is that there is some concern that, hey, if we're going to be paying 10 times as much as we would for a Twitch ad to do a directly integrated sponsorship, we want some assurances that the views that are actually happening on these channels, the engagement that's actually happening in these chats, is legitimate. So again, I don't think that Twitch is doing this out of trying to make a more fair and reasonable platform. I absolutely think that they're doing it to appease advertisers and make sure that there is confidence in their new sponsorship product, that they can rest assured, hey, we are actually going to get our ads seen in front of real people. There is a downside to
Generally, that's just the way things are with ads. Ads are there for the financial incentive of either party, good or bad. But they're introducing more ads from what I'm unaware of, and therefore more money will go to Twitch. But again, if people don't watch content or they see too many ads, then and they're not interested in Twitch no more, I don't think that's going to be the case, but that's the scenario. Then Twitch would lose more money overall than they would if they had just left it as they are. Companies are bleeding money, basically. They are just running out of money, generally speaking. So it's not exactly ideal for this to happen for companies to run out of money. Well, it's ideal because you have debt and then you pay your debt off, but then it's just run out of money generally. So let's just continue.
to this. There is a downside to this, and that's going to be in the form of marketing and the overall platform perception. One of the things that has been accused of in the past of other platforms, I won't name any names, is that other platforms maybe don't have the most authentic viewership overall. Maybe you can open up a couple tabs and the viewership increases alongside it. And the interesting part of this is that if Twitch is voluntarily, because keep in mind, there's no inherent downside for the platform to have view bots on their site. It makes their site look bigger. It makes the overall, it seems like it's growing, seems like there's more people happening, more things happening. If you do have a platform like Twitch that is voluntarily choosing, probably in response to advertisers, to nerf their own metrics for authenticity, it may be that another platform that maybe has 1 mil, and then ultimately the comparison between the two is somewhat unfair because the other site might not necessarily be subject to the same level of scrutiny from advertisers because they don't have advertisers. And as such, they get a little bit of easier marketing overall. So just keep that in mind when you do ultimately hear all these numbers that are being thrown out there, myself included. I do it too when I take a look at numbers like how many people are streaming in Spanish language content versus other platforms, and you see a departure from one to the other. But it is always important to keep that context in mind when there are changes like this that are inherently not necessarily the best for a platform that is already losing viewership over the course of the last few years to voluntarily choose to do more of it. Now, the funniest part of this overall is the timing of it. Literally 2 days ago, Twitch set a brand new record in both total platform viewership and an independent creator's total viewership. Ebi, with his La Veleta del Año, had a peak viewership of 9.189 million viewers. That is a massive number. And the overall platform itself actually peaked at 14 million overall viewers on the entire site. Again, those are both records. And so it is kind of interesting that it's coming out literally 2 days after that they're like, hey, we have to deal with this fake viewership data that's occurring right after they set some records. Now, I'm not actually accusing Ebi of that, by the way. Ebi's event is actually huge. Consistently throughout the years, they've been bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just the timing is funny. I don't believe that there is any kind of viewership tampering occurring as it relates to Ebi and the event itself. In any case, I think that's where I'll leave it here today. Just a little quick video to...
Right. Snooze that one more time. I just can't bother with it, so 5 more. There we go. I'm going to end it here in a minute anyway because these ads are doom-making. But yeah, so realistically speaking, that's kind of referring to that. Based on that. You turn everything back on. That. There we go. So, yeah, that's basically the overall thing of what Zach said, which I completely understand. Certain things I didn't discuss, certain things I did discuss. But yeah, so we're going to read to the last two things. You know what? I'll have to discuss this. Do I discuss this now or no? Well, don't do it now. What month are we on? I've got ages. I can do it there next week. I'll have to do this one next week, this post. Um, so I'll keep this one for next week. That one for next week. And I'll just do this last one. So, Meld has, which is the streaming service I use, which is literally what I use every stream now. They put streamers, our free cloud-based software is extended to Europe and Australia, which is referred to the website which I am connected to currently. So originally it was one, and now they're connecting it to Europe and Australia. So yeah, and then you can edit all the platforms here, but obviously that's how that works. I might make a video on videos of how this works. I don't know yet. But overall, kind of simple and stuff like that. But yeah, that's if they're adding hosts to additional places, Europe and Australia. So if you're in Europe or Australia and you're using Meld, then you can move to Meld hosting the cloud-based tool than using the individual tool, which you could obviously do. But yeah, so that's kind of that. But yeah, so it's intriguing to see where things are heading. Obviously, that's that. I'm going to end it here because I'm a bit tired and I'm sick of disappearing. I'll be live for an hour and almost 20 minutes now, so I'm going to end the stream here. Thanks everyone for watching the stream. If you're on Twitch, feel free to subscribe. Use Twitch Prime if you've got one. I've got 2 weeks to do this before the ad starts, which is lovely. Subscribe and like on YouTube. You comment if you wish to. There's 3 things there. Again, if you're on Kick, I don't know how that works, so I don't know what's going on with that. I could just talk after live if you want. If you got the time and yeah, outside, I don't know. Not for long though, because I need to go and do something else after. Which obviously you'll know that after I'm gonna leave finish stream. But yeah, if you're on Kick, I don't know how it works. Do all the things on Kick, YouTube, subscribe, like, comment. If you're on, if you're watching this after, obviously like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe to Twitch Prime if you've got it. Follow the channel, notifications on. If you're viewing, you don't know talking, feel free. You can join the Discord as well, which I have a link tree. Don't really use it, but you can use that to see the Discord server and other socials. Thanks, Lol. Oh, it's just a Discord. There you go. Just use the Discord that Lol's put in chat, and you can join the Discord. There's 2 pings. There's a general pings and the live ping, which you can access. We've got 40 seconds to join this. But yeah, so I'll see you next week, hopefully. Again, I may stream during the week at one other point. I doubt that, because I'll prepare for the stream and do all the things. But yeah, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you next stream. Bye-bye now.